Reports, finance, and administrative activities. 2019-0320, contract monitor, Ms. Sampe.
Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening, Council and Parish Administration. Chandra Sampe here to present the current events report for the Contract Monitor's Office. And last year at this time, I presented on recycling, and I'm back with more recycling. So I'm going to let you look through some of the slides from the last time we presented. So we went from these 8-yard dumpsters that were placed sporadically throughout the parish, at mostly at the recreation sites and schools. And we had the 8-yard dumpsters. They were emptied 3 days a week. These were the issues that we were dealing with, if you remember. So this is to refresh in your memory. It was massive amounts of dumping and illegal dumping at all locations. Sofas, furniture, just complete abuse throughout the entire parish. And the Department of Recreation, of course, was having to go out and clean all of this up, along with the assistance of Pelican Waste helping us by picking them up as well. So then we switched over to the new containers. The new recycle sites for 2019 were the East Bank, and that should say West Bank Bridge Parks as well. It's the 30-yard roll-offs. The slots did not allow for any of that dumping. Typically just the slots slide open and they can only fit their recyclable materials in it. So using the main sites of the East Bank and the West Bank Bridge Parks completely deterred the dumping, and we had no dumping issues. This is the worst we had when we come back, and that's because people wanted to recycle. The bins were just full. The little stroller doesn't go in there, but that's the worst issues that we had, and it's just because they were overflowing because of the participation rate for recycling. It's not for lack of service or illegal dumping. Okay, so in May, China placed a ban and stopped the importing of most plastics, papers, scrap metals from all other countries, and now many cities throughout the United States are facing recycling crises. The new rules, it placed restrictions global-wide, mainly on plastic scraps. So what we're looking at right now is the main facilities in New Orleans went down in May 17th of 2019. They shut down their facilities and stopped accepting recycled materials from our haulers. So we do have the option to haul to Baton Rouge. And what they did is Republic Service is obviously the dominant when it comes to recycle services. They one by one have stopped honoring the contracts or service agreements that they had with all of the vendors. So Pelican Waste is our vendor. They can no longer, they got their notice last month, they can no longer send in their recyclables to Republic. So I asked for an extension for 1 month till the end of October to let, for my report. I did reach out to him, and I spoke with the general manager with Republic Services, and he said, Chandra, if we could help y'all, we would help you. We just can't. He says we cannot accept any more recycled materials, especially the plastics. You know, they're the main sort center. They bring it there and they sort it, you know, and when I ask them, well, what are you doing with your plastics? You know, it's kind of we're having issues and we're sending it north, but you can't get a straight answer. I can tell you that in this region, we are one of the first parishes to recommend that we shut down our recycle services. There's nowhere to bring the plastics. We can haul it to Baton Rouge, which for a price of $624 per load, that's just for the one load of the dumpster, plus a $222 per ton sorting fee, which is $846. So you would be looking at almost $1,000 per load to take that 30-yard dumpster to Baton Rouge for recycling. The quote that Pelican Waste was given directly from Republic Services was $714 a load, plus an additional sorting fee. Republic quoted us, you know, they said, we want to help you if you can. I will quote you this price. He says, it's just not feasible to do. So, unfortunately, I am recommending to the council and parish presidents that we suspend all recycling services within St. Charles Parish at this time until they figure out what they're going to do. You know, this all started with trade issues with China and President Trump. Trump put in some leniencies on his trades with China, and China pretty much retaliated by stop accepting all the recycles. And everyone around the region, or around the world, sends their recycles to China, especially the plastics. And it may be that they end up revamping their entire program and just recycle cardboards and tin cans. That's an option that they're looking at for the future. But as of right now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I highly recommend that we stop our recycle program temporarily until an issue is figured out, until the problem is debated and resolved. And it's not just with us, it's all over. Any questions?
Is that all?
Well, it's all I have to say on that subject. Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to finish your report and then we come back?
No, that's good. Y'all can do it.
That's it?
Well, I was going to, I got to jump
Okay,
topics.
because I got tons of them, but I think this is going to get, so like recycling is like huge right now. I mean, I
know.
get tons of requests. They want curbside.
I
And one of
know.
the things that I was about to get ready to do is go back to our bids that we had before. And I know they went astronomical. The last time we tried it was $2.64 to be added to a water bill. And we had so many people complaining about it.
Yep.
But I wanted to bring it up again.
It was $2.94, and I can guarantee you, we can look at putting out an RFP. It's going to come in.
It's not going to make a difference if it's costing us, if they're not accepting recycling.
Absolutely, it's going to skyrocket. Your prices are going to come back in at $15 at least.
Well, if you
minimum.
don't recall, the last garbage contract we had, the recycling bid was astronomical.
Yes.
You mentioned $1,000 is what it would probably cost us, but what is that as opposed to what we're paying now? What do we pay now?
Right now, we're paying $400 a load.
So it will go from 400 to 1,000 or
Yes.
more.
Yes.
How many loads?
Well-
One more question. How many times, how do they pick up these?
Monday,
bids?
Wednesday, Friday.
So 3 days a week?
Yes, ma'am. The West Bank was only twice a week because it wasn't as heavy as the East Bank. And the West Bank, the residents there, the advocates that wanted to recycle, were constantly asking me to up it one more day, but the budget just doesn't allow for it.
And when you talk about suspending, like, are we talking 90 days?
No, I'm talking suspended until, this is going
Like
to go.
now?
Yes, immediately. This is going to go to Washington.
Bargain on that?
Washington has a problem. They're going to have to fix this. This is big.
It is big, but it's really big for our community too, because we
I
have
agree.
lots and lots. And I know if you recall the last time we went about this, the town hall meetings we had were phenomenal.
I
They
agree.
were coming.
This is my concern. I have called around to several parishes, and I'm not going to mention names, but I have spoken with several parishes. They don't know where their plastics are going. They're removing themselves from their reliability because their vendors are picking it up, but they don't know where it's going, and I'm not going to get caught in that, and I don't want St. Charles Parish getting caught in that.
Councilman Gibbs.
Chandra, the way that I understand it, the tariffs have eliminated this
Yes.
from Washington. All right.
But with China,
Well, Washington is in the
Right.
tariff war,
Yeah,
where the
right.
trade war we're in.
Correct.
And I fully understand that. What I don't understand is just plastics that we're going to eliminate as far as recycling?
at the moment, that's what they're rejecting. They're rejecting all recyclables from us. They shut down the main site, which was Metairie, that's Republic Services
Right.
site.
Right.
They shut this down, and their other main site, the dominant office is Baton Rouge. And it's northern than Baton Rouge, it's 95 miles away.
Right, but I just got to understand, and for everybody that, 10% that watch this, we get, this is the largest issue that I have to address day in and day out,
Right,
is recycling.
I know.
So are you saying that we're not going to recycle at all? They're going to go to West Bank Bridge Park and recycling is done for the time being?
Temporarily.
Indefinitely?
Yes, I do.
All recycling?
All recycling. Parish President Cochran asked me to explore every possible avenue, and I have.
Right,
So unless you're willing to pay $1,000 to take it to Baton Rouge.
right. I'm going to ask you to do something, if you don't mind. Just so
Absolutely.
we can bring it to our constituents.
Sure.
Show them that we're at least trying. You
Sure.
said you can get an RFP, it's going to be crazy. But we need the crazy amount.
Okay.
So we can show our constituents that we do have the possibility of doing recycling, but this is what it's gonna cost,
We can do it.
if you don't mind.
Not at all.
If you can just do, I know it's gonna be an exercise in futility, but it will help us out.
Not, I have it already. I just gotta, it wouldn't take me much to put out.
I think it will not satisfy everyone, but it will, at least we'll have a number to give to these guys.
Yeah.
And let them know this is what it's gonna cost.
Okay.
But what we gotta try to get across to our constituents is that we're trying, but I don't think it can happen. We're in a fight that's way beyond us.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of our control.
Absolutely.
But they don't want to hear that.
They don't.
And bless their hearts, not many people pay attention to the news. And this is in the news.
Yeah.
This tariff war affects all the way down to our parish.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to explain that to a few people, and they don't want to listen to it. They just understand that they've seen recycling and they think it can be done. So if you can get us a number, that would be great.
We will get right on that.
Thanks.
Councilman Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chandra, you said you met with the administration, Parish President Cochran, and so that this wouldn't be as such where it would give folks that love to recycle whiplash, what would be the cost associated, although we have an increase, to finish this calendar year?
You can.
But she said, right now, the vendor that's accepting it, you're comfortable, but there's other parishes that I guess they're not as responsible as we are when you're responsible for waste from the cradle to the grave. So you're not even comfortable moving
No,
forward.
they've still been accepting it, us in Metairie, but they've given me the warning that I've exhausted all of my extensions. They cannot accept it from us anymore. So last year's annual budget was $36,000, and we actually came in under that. We're already at $46,700. To finish the year would put me over $75,000 easy.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, just to kind of drive home the point, there are a lot of haulers out there that are picking this up and just taking it to the dump. They're making a premium profit off of this. Have no proof of that. Of course, nobody has any proof of that. But that's the fear of what's happening. We're looking at a 250% increase. The recycling, the parish supplemented that just about every year. So you're talking about a process that we already supplement. Now there's a 250% increase. The only way we can be confident that this material is actually getting recycled is our relationship with Pelican, who would give us a price to take it to Baton Rouge, or Republic take it to Baton Rouge themselves, or we bring it to Baton Rouge. But the solution is very narrow, and no matter how you look at it, you're looking at a 250% increase.
And like I said, they're sorting it at their facility, but where is it going?
If it's out of our hands, it shouldn't matter. It's their problem, not ours.
Right.
So, anyway, I do have one more thing. So we do have, as you can tell by the dumpsters, the bins, a lot of people that contribute to that. Is there something we can do to help them out, as in, I know you're going to cringe, but another garbage can? Because obviously they've worked on, where are they going to put it?
No, you're actually going to cringe at my next topic of discussion.
Well, we did have a very thin agenda today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Parish President Cochran.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chandra's department has been working very, very hard for quite some time to continue recycling. Those of you that was on the council prior to this one, we did everything we could to bring curbside recycling to the parish. So everything, has been exhausted as far as what we can do with taxpayers' dollars for recycling. If y'all want to go ahead and spend more money, and as she said, the numbers are astounding, and I thought she was going to, I guess she didn't want to give you sticker shock tonight, so we're going to save it for another night. But I think maybe we do need to have a committee meeting, you know, to vent this publicly and let everyone know where we're at. But just to let you know, it's not going to change anything. You know, everything has been, we've tried everything, you know, and I really appreciate everything y'all have done to support, you know, the administration's efforts with recycling. So, you know, if y'all want to do a committee meeting, I think that would be in line. You know, like Mr. Gibbs was saying, to let the people know where we're at, what the cost is going to be moving forward. So thank y'all very much. And Chandra, thank you very much for all you've done and all the time you put in to try to facilitate this for the people of the parish.
Thank you. Next topic.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so solid waste, garbage cans. The contractor for each contract has the ability to do an annual audit. What the audit is they ride throughout the entire parish and they count the carts at each resident. They get paid per cart that they service. So our previous vendor, Progressive Waste, now Waste Solutions, did not do an audit in over 6 years. So Pelican started their audit last year. They did it last year. They ended in November. They've done it again this summer, just to double check it. So there's over 600 additional carts out there, but that they're not being paid for. So what we have to do at this point, we're working with Pelican and we're going to start sending out the letters. They have to notify all the residents that had that registered, well, showed up with 2 carts. They'll receive a letter stating that these are the rules of the contract, and we cite it in their form. We send them the copy. You can either keep the additional cart and pay double garbage on your water bill, or you can give up the additional cart. They are welcome to buy their own additional carts from Home Depot, but the company is not responsible for any damages, any missing cans, or anything like that. So I just know that you're probably going to get some feedback from your constituents. So you need to know that this is going to start next week.
You ready for questions?
I am.
How much is the regular garbage cost us now? Sorry, I don't read my bill.
$16.69.
So that'll double?
That would double.
And if it's, if I remember, they already started picking up garbage cans that don't belong, because I've had several constituents call about it, that they picked up my extra garbage can, and when I call in, it's because they're not paying for it.
They're not paying. They had the report while they were doing the audit. I did shut that down. They cannot do that, so they're not doing that anymore.
Okay.
I shut that down. They have not been doing that. Every once in a while, someone's going to have a can where the garbage truck just went down the street and my can's missing. If for any reason, when they're tipping those, if they go into the truck, they cannot pull them back out.
So you're telling me if I get another garbage can, if I have 2, it's $16.69, but if I buy my own, it does end up in the truck.
you can buy your own, but they do.
But is it still going to double charge me?
Nope. I agree. The rule.
You're not responsible for any damages.
You're not. The rule is in place because if they didn't have that stipulation in the contract, every resident in the parish would have 2, 3, and 4 cans.
True.
And those cans cost the company
Crawfish.
over $70 per cart.
Right.
Each company that has come through here for the last 20 years struggles with keeping up with the cart containers.
Right.
Like I said, the previous company did not do an audit. This company's doing the audit, and they're going to get that notification.
And what's the time frame on this? Next week. Oh,
Well, we're going to start. It's going to
giving
take
out
us a while.
letters next week.
Yeah, giving out letters.
The letter's going to say you have what? Immediately remove the other garbage can?
No,
and
they'll
make
have a
decision?
30-day notice. A 30-day notice. They can contact the parish, and they can either turn in their cart or they can pay double garbage.
Okay.
After the 30 days, the people that we don't hear from, we'll try to contact them as best we can. If we cannot reach them, their bill will be changed.
Councilman Gibbs?
Chandra, how would you call contract monitoring to come get How do you
No.
get rid of the garbage can if you don't want it?
Well, we're gonna have our number and Pelican's number on it, but they can call us mainly. I prefer they call our office because that way we can keep control of it because we're in charge of the billing. So we'll send them a report daily of where they've got to go pick up those carts at.
And then it'll be effective immediately on the bill?
Effective immediately on the bill. Well, if they want to keep it.
And if they eliminate it, if they've kept it for, I don't know, a billing cycle, it's going to be effective immediately, that won't be charged any longer?
Right.
It's pretty immediate?
It's
You
pretty
know,
immediate.
if
I mean,
you-
it's going to take
If they
a
take
month.
the garbage can, they
It's-
think they're not paying
Yeah,
it that day.
it's going to take a month to go through, and Waterworks bill's a month behind. Like, your water bill now is for September, not
Yeah,
October.
okay.
You know?
All right. I'm only asking obvious questions because I want to
Right.
make sure
I know.
that we get these.
And the majority of them, they're not paying for it, not on purpose. You know, as these companies come through and they go and they replace the cart, they leave the one there instead of picking it up, and they're supposed to go back and get it when the garbage truck passes, and then the hoppers don't take it. So you do have a few like that out there.
Okay.
And you're going to have a few people that say that they bought their cart from Waste Management back in the day when they actually sold some to them.
Yeah, this isn't going to be smooth.
It's
I
not.
can
It
tell you.
never is. It's a headache. It's a headache, but it has to be done.
Yeah, this conversation stinks.
Yeah. I told y'all. I've dreaded my meeting all day today because I'm like, I have no good news. Oh, I do have one good news. You know, the 2 high mast lights by the East Bank Bridge Park that have been out for a year because the river was so high we could not dig. They are now fixed because the river has gone down, but I know a lot of y'all would see that and hear about it, but they are up and running. So,
Councilman Cluley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So if you have the second garbage can, you have to be proactive and either have it picked up or it's going to be
it'll get
charged on your
changed
bill.
after 30 days. I mean, I'm not going to stick to the 30 days. I'll try to reach them again. We do have phone numbers in the water
Database.
billing system that we can tap into.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does that conclude your report?
That does.
Well, I'm glad, because I couldn't stomach any more of it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So sorry.
I know you do all you can. You've been wonderful.
I try.
Councilman Hogan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, you came with some bad news, but as usual, I appreciate all you do for us. I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
bringing that information to us. You do a great job, and once again, I want to thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay.
We're good?
Any other council discussion? Seeing none? Thank you.